On this week's episode, we talk about the World Juniors, the Blue Jays in August, the Big Ten, and Deshaun Watson. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 24, season 2 of Points and Penalties. For all our listeners, we'd like to remind you to please subscribe wherever you get your podcast. For our viewers on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our little PMP button in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. And no matter how you check out PMP, give us a like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Points Penalties. You all know me. We're back again. My name is Josh. With me are my awesome co-hosts, my good buddies, Kevin, Jesse, and Peter. Kevin, always, every single time when you're here, I got to start with you. Tell me what you're drinking tonight.
Well, I have a Royal Roots 00 Belgian triple. It is a strong beer. It is a 8.3% alcohols.
Ooh, heavy hitter.
Yeah, heavy hitter. Haven't been on for a while, so I got to bring out the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Not too shabby. It's doable. Pedro, what's your poison?
Thanks, Kev. I'm having a Reinhardt Brewing From Beyond IPA. From Beyond. Weird looking can. It's a 6% strong beer, so not quite 8.3. Didn't bring as much heat as you did, Kev. But let's give it a try. Not bad. Not bad. Jesse.
Well, I smashed yours, Peter.
Damn it.
I got here.
By 0.1.
Flying Monkeys. It's Quantum Hugs Cold IPA. And yes, it's by a smashing 1% with 6.1.
0.1%. God damn it.
Smash yours. I'll give it a taste here. Solid as ever. I'll always like Flying Monkey.
Show.
Yosh, let us know what you have.
Well, I thought I was going to top everybody today when I pulled mine out. And then I heard what Kevin just said. And oddly enough,
Kev brought the heat.
Kevin did bring the heat. I think I did too. I ended up with the same fucking beer.
Oh, yeah, right, buddy.
So Royal Roots 00 Belgian triple, strong beer 8.3. We tied, Kev. So that was all right. Pretty funny that we have the same beer. Not so much of a coincidence though, considering we went to this place together. But since it's been so long since we've done a show, who knew we were each going to pull these out?
It's been a while since we went there.
I know, exactly. We were holding on to them for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So anyway, I already cracked it because I needed a drink before, and plus I'm an idiot, and so I'm gonna have another sip though.
That's why we put the rules up.
I know. I fucked up. Sorry, man. I know it's tasty stuff.
-1 for you both for having the same beer.
Yeah.
-1.
You can also just talk about like there's no one discusses the beers before they come on the show.
Yeah,
not a lot of prep here.
All right, guys, it's been a while. There was lots to talk about, but we had to whittle it down to a few topics to keep it short for our hopefully faithful listeners.
Counting on you.
Pete, why don't you start us off with something that should have been over in January?
Yeah. If you recall, the World Juniors started this past December, I guess, and then abruptly stopped. They had to get shut down due to COVID.
Boo.
Which sucked. It did suck. But luckily enough, the World Juniors were rescheduled for the summer. So I didn't even fucking know this was happening. Probably should have known, but it was just lo and behold.
Some hockey insider, eh?
It's August. I'm not paying attention.
For
I
sure.
think there's a couple reasons to it though, because of all the allegations going around.
Yeah, the whole fucking everything going on with Team Canada
Mhm.
is certainly a black mark on it. And Russia is not even at the tournament because of what's going on there. So it was definitely a weird tournament. But so there was really 4 powerhouses as opposed to the usual 5. And Sweden ended up winning the bronze, beating Czech Republic, who managed to upset the United States after a perfect preliminary round.
Yeah, eliminate.
So Sweden had a bit of an easier matchup, I guess you could say, against the Czechs to get the bronze. They weren't playing for the gold because that was Canada and Finland. And Canada managed to win in a dramatic overtime game against the Finns. Kent Johnson scored the golden goal after both defenders on a 2-on-2 were drawn to his slick toe drag by Logan Stankoven, who was then able to slide the puck to the wide open Johnson, who was able to bury that golden goal. It's a beautiful thing. Rogers Place erupted in Edmonton. And this came just a few minutes after Leafs prospect Topi Niemela very nearly had the golden goal of his own for Finland. Niemela directed a one-timer off a beautiful feed from Ituliukas toward a wide open net. And he had started to celly. He saw the puck going in the net. He was all arms already up in the air. He had that golden goal, so he thought. But Mason McTavish said no. McTavish, after being knocked down behind the net.
Should have been a tripping call.
It could have been, yeah. But it wasn't. It's overtime in a gold medal game. I can see why it wouldn't be called. But led to a turnover, and to make up for it, as that puck was just about crossing the goal line, McTavish knocked it out of the air, down to the ground, and was able to clear it away from the goal line, just sitting there. I don't know if you boys have seen the footage of this save yet, but it is got to be for sure the greatest save in World Junior history by a non-goalie. And maybe even outside of the World Juniors. This is like, I cannot think of any better save or even a possible better save by a non-goalie.
It looked like a perfectly laid bunt is what it looked like.
Oh yeah.
I know he was reaching back. He was reaching back, but like that was it. Just dropped straight down.
Yeah.
And Bedard was there too, to sit there, and he was swinging at it as well. I'm surprised.
It's
sticks that were swinging, it did not go in.
It's amazing they didn't accidentally knock it in themselves. Amazing. And so after they were able to scramble and clear it off the goal line, a few moments later, that 2-on-2 happened, and Canada got the golden goal. So let's talk about Mason McTavish for a second, because the dude is a stud. So on top of his gold medal saving defensive feat, McTavish won the tournament MVP after leading with 17 points. That's the 3rd best ever single tournament by a Canadian, tying a couple guys named Wayne Gretzky and Eric Lindros. Don't know if you heard of them, but decent company, I'd say.
Maybe one of them.
Which one?
Lindros.
Yeah, that's I knew where that was going.
Fucking
Such a hater.
Back to the fucking the Canadian god.
I wouldn't go that far with Lindros. I mean, he's not that good.
No, Gretzky, man.
Oh, Gretzky. You're talking about him. Oh, okay. That guy.
You want to go to his winery. You're not going to be on that property.
Yeah, exactly.
If he hears this, you're going to be off the invite list, man. Off the invite list. So while I was double checking my facts for this, just to make sure I didn't get challenged, I came across a stat that I did not realize was true and absolutely blew my mind. So I'm going to ask you guys. There is a player in 1993 in 7 games in a World Junior Championship put up 31 points in 7 games. And the guy's Swedish. It was 1993. And I'll give you a big hint. He went on to play for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, Peter Forsberg, 100%.
Peter Forsberg is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Put up 31 points in 7 games.
My initial thought was going to be Ovechkin, but then you said 93, and I was like, oh, no, that's way too early for him. So.
That's just wild. Must have been a lot of garbage points against like fucking
Garbage games.
Lithuania or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Estonia was in there. I think Kazakhstan's been in there before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So do you
Something
guys
like
know if Mason McTavish is like Craig McTavish's kid? Like he's Craig McTavish is a referee, right? Or was at least. Do you know
No
if
idea.
he's no?
Not a clue.
Yeah, me either. I was just curious. No, man, I'm not fishing. No, I'm just curious. I don't know. Maybe hoping that somebody, like maybe 2 of you guys would get in a challenge, but had nothing to do with me trying to challenge you. I was just curious. I mean, it would make sense, but I don't know, right? Like,
Yeah, he'd be
just because
close
the
to
hockey
close to the
background.
game,
Yeah, exactly. So
No, with McTavish's 17 points, is like, what did he get prior? I mean, to this opening round, because from my understanding, they took all their points and shit from the beginning of the tournament and carried it over to this start.
No, I think it was a full restart in the summer.
Challenge.
nice. Fuck,
They
this-
carried over their points from the start to now.
I don't think so. From what I saw, McTavish got 17 points in 7 games. And they played 7 games in August.
I think there's more points involved in that because they carried over.
Don't think so, man. Anyway, someone will look that up. Last piece I have on McTavish is since last fall, this guy has played in the World Juniors, the Olympics, the NHL, the AHL, and the OHL, all in a little over a calendar year. That's crazy.
You know, he actually they told Anaheim, I'm playing in this tournament. I need to finish off what was not completed, because a lot of those teams would not allow their players to go. But he said, nope, I am going. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
And it's cool too, because Zegras won the MVP last year. So 2 Anaheim Ducks also won MVPs back to back.
All right, I got our answer here from the hockeywriters.com. Corey Prondon, he had a tweet that said the World Juniors in August in Alberta will be a complete tournament restart, meaning the first few games that took place in December will not count. Countries will be allowed to pick new teams as well. Relegation will be reintroduced. It goes on to say within the article that complete games will be replayed, and everything is straight up brand new.
Come on, not from what I've heard. Not at all, man. All points were carried over.
No, man.
Gotta find something.
Yeah, it says the first bit of news that Pronon reports is that the tournament will be complete restart as the games have already been played will not count as teams had to forfeit games early on. It does not make sense for there to be a full-on tournament. It does make sense for there to be a full-on tournament restart. It gives everyone a fair shot from the very beginning, and everyone on the teams involved is healthy and ready to go. Another option could have been to keep the results of the games played and replay the ones that were forfeited, as they were bound to be rescheduled. It still gives the teams a chance to play the games that would have been completed, just at a different date. However, for the sake of the integrity and competitive nature of the tournament, a full restart is the right decision.
No, I mean, like the restart of the actual tournaments, like there's no points. Like, you know, I'm talking about goals and assists were carried over.
I mean, this is saying that everything is a complete restart. The IIHF president, Luke Tardif, confirmed that it will be a new tournament as it takes place after the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. This is months after the IIHF and organizers were heavily criticized for the way things were handled during the tournament leading up to the cancellation. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, and then the Dan throws off false information then.
Good.
It says they can adjust their rosters, and basically, like I said, it's a full.
I'm not talking about the rosters. I don't care about the players and such. I was just talking about the carrying over.
No,
of
I know,
points.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't specifically say that either which way, but it says everything's going to be new. I mean, have at finding us an article, and I'll fucking give you the point all you want, Kev. But that was the first thing I saw. Did you find anything, Jess?
Oh, I'm struggling to load anything right now. So
Oh,
my
okay.
computer is not
Okay.
doing what it's supposed to.
Jesse's still running off Windows 95, so he's he goes a bit slow. Well, that was all I had to talk about the World Juniors. I don't know if you guys caught any of it. I don't know if you guys knew it was happening.
Yeah,
until
I had it
till the end.
recording. It automatically recorded on my TV, so I got to saw and watch all of it.
Yeah. What did you think? Was
It
it
was
this? Was it? Did you get the same vibe as the usual?
I mean, I wouldn't
holiday
say
tournament?
no, but it was just as exciting. I mean, I like how there was a scrum just about to start at the Shakes with the Czechs in Canada. I mean, you had that one kid that just loved to throw the body and threw like 2 wicked hits in his own zone to cough up a puck to get the goal. But I mean, at the shake of the hands, and one of the players that he just ran over didn't like it, and they're ready to go at it right there at the shake of the hands. I'm going, fucking right. You can't get kicked out of the tournament now, man. You already won, so kick his ass. But
Seabass.
yeah.
For me, like at the end, like the gold medal game was really good, but that's pretty much all I watched. Like I was just not into it. Just I don't know if it's the timing or
Summer.
the lack of Russia not being there is a bit of a, like, for me, it's a bit of a deterrent too, because you want to have those like 5 really good teams, because one of them's got to fall out of the top 2 on each side. Or we didn't really have that. So
It was still pure dominance of Canada, man.
I mean, the U.S. got booted early, right? So
yeah,
there's some still extra excitement there if you're non-American. But my thing with this was the lack of re-advertising.
yeah.
So we had spoken before, and like I didn't know what was going on. Like, and when I did, I was like, oh yeah, oh well. There was no excitement like there is over Christmas. Now maybe it's because it's Christmas, you're off. It's tradition to watch hockey. The World Juniors around that time, so maybe it's more that. But yeah, it just, for me, it was like meh. Like, I got better things to do than sit around and watch Latvia and Czech Republic play some hockey.
Yeah.
Like one game had like 12 spectators. Seriously, 12 fucking spectators.
That's about as much as the Arizona Coyotes are probably going to get this year.
Hi-yo!
So like that's pretty bad, right? And it's, I guess, especially in Edmonton, it's not nice there for very long. So when it is nice, people don't want to be cooped up in an arena. They want to be out, doing summer things. So I think the timing and the lack of advertising really killed this tournament from a viewer standpoint for me.
Well, they had people pulling out of the tournament because of all the sexual allegations that are going on there from Canada, and the TSN didn't push it because of that as well. So that was another reason why you didn't really hear about it nor any buzz around it. But some crazy shit going on.
Yep. Well, hopefully it'll all be back to full swing for the next one, which is only like, I don't know, 3.5 months away.
Don't have to wait long.
No, don't have to, 4 months, I guess. Don't have to wait long at all. Anyway, Kev, why don't we get into what's going on in college football with ESPN?
Yeah, this shocked. That was pretty, wow, what's going on here? So ESPN has reportedly ended contract discussions with the Big Ten after rejecting the conference's latest proposal, which was for a 7-year, $380 million expansion. This gentleman, John Orad of the Sports Businesses Journal, reported the update Tuesday, August 9th. the following day, Wednesday, Andrew Marchand of the New York Post noted the Big Ten was closing on an agreement with the CBS, Fox, and NBC worth over $1 billion in total. Now, ESPN's current deal with the Big Ten checked in at $190 million, and the extension talks didn't include guarantees for the conference's top games. If talks aren't reopened, it'll mark the first time in 40 years that ESPN won't coverage any Big Ten football basketball. The roadblock came in July of 2021 when Oklahoma and Texas announced their accepted an offer to move to the Big 12 to the SEC no later than June of 2025. This started a whirlwind series of moves of conferences jockeyed to ensure that they wouldn't be left in the cold. When the new alignments went into place, and it's continued to recent months with UCLA and USC confirmed a move to the Big Ten in 2024. The Big Ten was able to carry more leverage into contract talks for its television rights and appears likely to secure 3 exclusive windows of football. Now, all these are going to be Eastern Standard Time, with Fox at noon, CBS at 3:30, and NBC in prime time. So with this going on, what are you guys' thoughts of the ESPN? Just, we're done.
I mean, I don't know if they're done. They just because they don't have the Big Ten anymore. As a fan, it doesn't I don't give 2 fucks who carries the game, or the games in the Big Ten. As long as it's being shown on TV, whether it's on Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, whatever. Obviously you get used to certain commentators, and you might like that, more so or less so depending on who it is. But as long as I can see the game, like I'm pretty sure you guys can watch any sporting event without the volume on. Right, throw a little music on. So as long if you don't like the guy, just as long as it's on TV, that's for me. And I think most fans, that's all they really care about. So there was no doubt in my mind that the Big Ten was going to get some sort of contract done somewhere. So from that aspect, that's great. I mean, ESPN's still going to have. I mean, there's other conferences than the Big Ten, like I don't know if they have the SEC, but the SEC is huge in football.
Yeah.
So, and then they also, is it ESPN not Sunday night as well? Sunday Night Football?
No, it's Monday.
It's Monday. Okay.
NBC is Sunday night.
Right. So, I mean,
Amazon has Thursday nights too. Not the first game of the season. NBC has that one though.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say that ESPN is done, because that's definitely, I don't think they just lost this, and it is what it is, man. Business, if you wanted it that badly, you should have signed the deal before the extension, obviously they wanted more money, and then they lost out. So now they got to go and find that money somewhere else.
Well, that's another thing too, is there's Oklahoma and Texas. Those are big college teams that are going to be moving to the SEC. SEC, Jesus. So that's already a huge division in college football and basketball. So I can see why they lowballed them a bit. And Big Ten want to know that when they're getting a hell of a lot more money from CBS, Fox, and NBC.
Yeah, I mean, it seems it worked out for the Big Ten, and like I said, as a fan, it's as long as it's on TV. It doesn't matter if I tune into channel 1400 or 1402 to watch the game,
As long as it's available.
Yeah, exactly, man. Now, it pissed me off. I know I'm jumping the gun here, not talking anything about fucking football, but just the other night the Jays game was not on TV, and I was not fucking happy about it. It was on Apple Plus or some shit. Apple TV. I was mad. Anyway,
because it was the Yankees. It was the Yankees
Yankee
too.
game,
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to interrupt too much with the baseball here, but those are my thoughts. I don't know.
Well, I think it does matter for the fans too, because a lot of fans, like, I don't watch a lot of college football or basketball until, March Madness starts up, and the bowl games and maybe the national championship. I'll watch that, but I don't even know the announcers for the college stuff. But I'm sure, especially in the States, they know the announcers, and just like I'm sure in NHL and definitely in football, there's a lot of favorites, and like ESPN's been struggling to get a good football commentators out there. They haven't been doing a good job for a couple of years now. So,
but the thing is those are going to be local games, and the rest of us get the national version of the game, right? So the home teams are going to have their home commentators.
Oh, so for each
right? So like we get the same feed, but we get a different commentators because for like Toronto games, right? So does it matter then? Because you're still probably going to have your home commentator, right? I mean, maybe not. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they did that for.
I would think so
for football. I thought it would just be like one, but it makes sense.
Maybe I'm not 100% sure, but no, seriously, Kev, I'm not fishing at all. That's what I would assume.
Yeah,
that's what I would assume, right? Like we have, we have it's Sportsnet for baseball, right? We get our Sportsnet announcers every single time. But if it just happens to be like, so I have watched games on my phone and it's a different announcer from what I'm watching on TV because it's a different feed, right? So
doesn't in the playoffs in baseball they go to one national feed?
In the playoffs they do, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's usually the big guys, right? Joe Buck and it used to be Bob Costas, but
I don't know. Oh yeah,
that's a long time ago.
Terrific hair, Bob Costas. Yeah, so the only place I can see where this really might hurt ESPN is like what you said, Josh, makes sense for people that watch on cable. But a lot of people nowadays don't have cable. They pay for streaming services. So if someone is paying directly for ESPN and they want to watch Big Ten football, and they can't anymore, maybe those people choose to end that subscription and go elsewhere.
That's fair.
That's the only place where I could see maybe this having a bit of a significant impact to ESPN. I don't know how big of a market that is, but I assume it's not insignificant. That's the way a lot of people are trending to get their sports these days.
It's college football, man. College football is massive in the U.S., so it's you're right. It's going to be a considerable amount, I would think, or considerable potential loss.
Yeah, but I think just with all the shuffling around of the big teams moving conferences, they probably just said, you know what, now it's not the time to lock in long term for a lot of money. Maybe we're not going to get Big Ten games for a few years here. So be it. Once everything actually shuffles out and we see where the big money teams actually are, then we'll spend our money and make sure we can have the rights to those games.
I'm not too big on the college football. So with these teams that are moving, or your Big 12s or whatever moving, is that huge? Like, is that going to make a big difference if UCLA is into a different division? I guess, is that what it is? Is it divisions?
The conference.
Conferences.
Yeah.
So
I mean, not UCLA so much as the other few that you've named here.
Right. Oklahoma and Texas are big schools. USC is a big school. It's a fucking huge school. Like, yeah.
Are they going to a better conference then for themselves as a school, or is they going into like a mediocre one where they can dominate?
No, the SEC is, I would say, probably the best conference.
No, but UCLA and USC are confirming to the move to the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're going. They're part of the Pac-12 right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they're also going to a bigger, better division then, right? Because they got Michigan, they got Michigan State. Well, who else is in there?
Ohio State.
You know, the shitty Illini. You know, like, there's definitely some. Oh, Notre Dame's in there. So football wise, there's definitely some top end teams. I mean, who's in the pack? Was it Pac-10 or Pac-12?
Pac-12, I believe.
Pac-12.
It's so yeah, UCLA, USC, Cal was in it, and then there's stuff like it goes all the way up the West Coast, like I think Eastern Washington or something like that.
Yeah,
Oregon. So there's good teams in the Pac-12, but they're just yes, the Big Ten is a better conference for sure. So they are getting new teams, but they're losing some good ones.
Yeah.
And they, you guys think they're probably just doing this just to make kind of playing fields even? And you consider eliminating all the not so great teams to a different conference then, so they may do better there? Do you think that's what's going on?
Well, it's interesting because, like I said, so the USC is going to a tougher division, in my opinion. So, it's easier to get to the bowl games winning the Pac-12 than it would be to win the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Right?
There's more eyes on the Big Ten than the Pac-12.
Right. So that's the other thing too. More guys get drafted, there's more national coverage of these guys and of the games. So, I mean,
I don't know why UCLA is going there. They haven't been very good recently. But
yeah, I assume it's a benefit to your school to be in the better conference.
Maybe their basketball team's good.
Whether or not you're gonna fucking get dummied in that conference, it's probably still a benefit to be in the conference.
UCLA's basketball team is good, Jesse.
Yeah,
there you go. See, so they're carrying the load.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, it's interesting. But like I said, for me as a fan, I don't give a fuck. Like, do you guys really care? No, like, I mean, do you guys care if your Blue Jay game or your Leaf game is on Sportsnet or on TSN or on CBC? Like, as long as it's on, right?
Only if, like, for a significant amount of time, I was a streaming guy. Not right now, but so I did care because I would only have what the shitty thing about a lot of it is, like, I would watch it on a PlayStation through an app, and there's a Sportsnet app, but there's not a TSN app. So I did care, but only because it's fucking hard to watch it on TSN, harder than it should be. Even though I had the fucking subscription, I had to, like, watch it on a laptop and hook it up to a TV. Pain in the ass. That's the only place where it matters. But
I'm a big streamer of all my sports too, so I follow in that too. And yeah, I prefer just sticking to one site that does a lot of the stuff. Now, if you had, like, so with the Zone, they do all the NFL, right? Like, Sportsnet does like a bunch of different sports, but it's all local for the most part. They go outside a bit, but they won't be there regularly.
No. And I find they only have like you said, the outside. If it's not Canadian, it's pretty much just baseball. Like, they're good for extra baseball throughout the season.
Right. So, like, on the Sportsnet, you can actually get the World Cup games or the World qualifiers with Canada. So I got to watch those. So that was kind of handy. But otherwise, I would just want like a conglomerate of everything underneath one.
yeah, like this
But I guess that's
actually
cable.
well, this is actually a pet peeve with, like, the NHL. Like, if there was a place that I could go to buy all the NHL games, at least all the fucking Leaf games, I would do it. I don't think that place exists.
You can do center ice, but you won't get the Leaf
You get
games.
blacked out.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing with in the US. Like, they don't have that. They get blacked out games all the time. Like, NFL just came out with a streaming service, and they can get blacked out games still.
Yeah, it's
Whereas the service that I have, I get to watch whatever freaking game I want, and I get Red Zone. So it's the tits.
You ready for Scott Hansen? 8 hours of Scott Hansen.
This is a good show, man, because it's no commercials, it's constant football. It's
action and all action, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some action that happened in baseball and coming up in our MVP.
this week's MVP is an old MVP from when he played for the Jays.
Yeah.
Our boy and trader now,
The bringer of rain.
JD. As he's with the Yanks right now, hit a walk-off grand slam. It was against Tampa's too, so they're against
okay.
us.
That's okay.
Yeah, they're against us in that wild card race, so that's not horrible. But yeah, the Yanks were down by 3 in the bottom of the 10th, and like Peter said, the bringer of rain came in as the bases were juiced and fucking hit a huge home run. Did a nice bat flip too with it.
Yep.
Oh, I'd say.
Yeah.
He took lessons from Jose.
Yeah, he learned what to do, that's for sure. So with that, we decided to give him the MVP. With this, Donaldson joins only Babe Ruth and Jason Giambi as the only Yankees in history to hit a walk-off grand slam while trailing 3 runs. So good
Nice.
company. Pretty specific, but good company.
Yeah, who's that Babe Ruth guy? Never heard of him.
Yeah. Don't know, man. Before my time.
Cast time.
He played every single position. He even pitched.
Definitely
Yes, he
pitched.
did. All right. Well, to you, a bringer of rain. Cheers.
Even though you're on the wrong team.
Not the
though, bro.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Just don't do it against us. But since we're talking about baseball, Yosh, would you like to speak about some more?
Absolutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Absolutely. Blue Jays. We all love the Blue Jays. If oh, hey, look at you, Pete. Nice hat. Look at you. It's a little crooked, but nice hat, bro. There you go. You kind of look like a child now, actually.
I know. It was like your first Jays game.
Kev, nice do. All right. Anyway, so we're Jays fans, but anyway, I just wanted to go over. Last time we talked about baseball, we talked about the All-Star game, and it's been a ways since then. The trade deadline has passed. So just quickly to recap what the Jays did, they added second baseman, center fielder / utility guy Whit Merrifield from the KC Royals for right-handed pitcher Max Castillo. They added right-handed pitching Anthony Bass and Zach Pop, and a player to be named later from Miami for shortstop Jordan Groshans, who was a pretty high-ender prospect for us, and second baseman Samad Taylor. Also added right-hand pitching Mitch White from the Dodgers. Sorry, Mitch White and Alex DeJesus for Nick Frasso, and left-handed pitching Moises Brito. And then shortly after the deadline, they signed Jackie Bradley Jr. to a 1-year deal. And so I know, going through that quickly, it's been way too long to talk about whether you like these moves or whatnot. But I'm going to ask you guys anyway. So just quickly, we've seen these acquisitions now for about 3 years. Holy shit. 3 weeks. Wow. 3 years. Wow. 3 weeks. So do you have any big takeaways with seeing any of these new guys? Did you like any of these moves particularly? Did you not like one of them or any of them particularly at the deadline this year?
One of them that scared me, though, when they picked up that Merrifield guy that's not vaxxed or wasn't vaxxed. I mean, obviously now he is because he's playing with them. I was quite concerned because what if he wasn't going to get vaxxed? I mean, is this guy only going to be a away game guy?
You got to think they at least had a phone call with him before that
100%.
to be like, we're going to trade for you, but
The jab.
you going to come play?
Yeah.
Well, because he came so quickly and they were only gone for, it was less than 2 weeks they were gone. They're not usually gone for that long. So I think he had already been jabbed once and he just needed the second one to top it off, and then could come in, wait his, the time frame out outside of Canada, obviously, while they were away. No, that's just speculation on my part. I have no.
Or you got the JJ one, Johnson.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. So, but hey, whatever. It like I said, Pete, they had to have had a conversation. You're going to make a trade.
Well, he originally said that he would get vaccinated if he was going to a contender.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows you what Casey was.
Not a contender. So
I thought there was someone else that said that, not Merrifield. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
yeah, pretty sure it was.
All right.
But
Let's go, Pete.
I'm not that confident.
He's like, I can't name the player either.
No. I thought it was someone on the Nationals. Anyway, doesn't matter.
thinking maybe Juan Soto because of that big trade. Like there was a lot of talk with the Nationals there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So for me, I like adding Merrifield. It's good to have a utility player. I think he will be useful down the stretch here. And
especially if Springer can't stay healthy.
Yeah. And I like the Jackie Bradley signing. Like it's
I was shocked. I was shocked with that, but yeah.
Well, he's not, the name recognition is not the same as it used to be. But it seems like a low risk, high reward kind of signing. Doesn't work out, but if he can be productive, great. You got him for nothing. The thing I like the least is losing Groshans. And I don't think he was ever really going to significantly play because he's in Bichette's spot. But
I don't trying him out at third too, but then obviously
Chapman,
he was replaced by Chapman.
Yeah, but I don't love the return. Like you got a good prospect. He maybe not gonna find a spot in your lineup, but I don't personally love the return for him. But
the problem with Groshans is he hasn't been good this year. He's only got one home run in the minor leagues, so and he's a big boy. He should be hitting home runs like all over the place. And he plays in Buffalo. It's a small field. He should be hitting home runs. So we traded him at the lowest value, which sucks, but he still has pedigree.
They tell you to buy low, sell high, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So,
but
at the same time, we're needing relief pitching, right? So these two guys are solid relief pitchers. So that helps. So
and that's my thing is I think our biggest get is Bass. Like he knows he's with the organization before, and he's had a pretty solid year. He's had some closing tendencies too, so I'm pretty happy getting him. He's a little bit older, but I don't know the Zach Pop guy. I've never really heard of him.
Just like middle of the road reliever, right? Like,
yeah, just extra people.
I don't mind it just because it's like you said, Jess. He was pretty much blocked up on the way up to playing at short or third. Groshans, that is. So I don't have a problem with strengthening the bullpen there. My Whit Merrifield, like, it's a good ball player for sure. I was a little taken back by it at first, thinking that he would just be playing second base. And I'm like, you've already got Espinal, who's an all-star. I realize he's not doesn't have Whit Merrifield's pass, like what's been pretty fucking awesome in the past. But I mean, I was thinking, yeah, that's good. That keeps Bijou on the bench. All right. But
that's a good thing.
But then kind of growing into the fact that he can play that center field role, and no, I don't want to see him in center field ever because I want Springer out there. He can play it, and it's a very good handcuff.
I think we put Whit out there and Springer just rides DH.
I mean, it might be better for the injury standpoint. I still think you're going to get better defense out of Springer.
Then instead put Jackie Bradley out there. He's a fucking phenomenal defensive player.
So who are you taking out then? Lourdes or?
Well, Lourdes is better than Whit, I think.
You can't take out Lourdes, no.
You taking out Teo then?
Nope. He's just a utility guy. He fills spots where injuries happen.
Everybody's day off and
they have our day off, exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, if he doesn't play third, you can move Espinal at third that day or whatever, right? But whatever. Or all in all, it's nice to have that, high end pedigree with Whit Merrifield and his utility-ness is nice. But like
that's not a word.
But I don't, like I said, I definitely don't like to see him in center field just because I want Springer. Not that he can't play it, I just want Springer out there.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to get hurt.
that too.
That's
That
my
too.
main
He
issue.
comes back from a fucking elbow and then hurts his fucking knee. Drives me bonkers.
He needs to be wrapped in some bubble wrap.
Yeah, man, 100%. All right, so the Jays addressed some issues. Some they added some depth and added to the places of lack of depth. But Mitch White wasn't the starting splash I thought we might have went out and got. There was talks of maybe the Jays looking at Noah Syndergaard, which would have been fucking insane. Who knows what they would have had to give up, but it would have been a good chunk. With what they did the Jays do enough to keep up with the Yankees, the Rays, and some other teams, Seattle, in the wild card race? Did they keep up with them, or did they do enough to keep up?
The wild card, yes. The Yankees, even though they're free falling right now, no. I still think the Yankees are winning the division. There's no.
They're still. Before today, I think I saw that they're like 7 games up or something.
Yeah, and they've been fucking free falling right now. They suck, but they'll figure it out and they'll still win the division. I think we
haven't been that good either. That's the problem.
Yeah. But I think we did enough to stay in the wild card race. I still think we get a wild card spot.
So the top 3 starting pitchers. Yeah, the top 3 starting pitching signings, trades, went to the Yankees, Seattle, and Tampa. Pretty sure I read something like that. I wish I would have kept the fucking article up on my phone because it was interesting that.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's gonna. Yeah, you're probably gonna win that one because I probably won't be able to find the article again because I was deep into some Blue Jay shit or about the trade stuff at that point. There was I think it was Tyler Mahle. I'm pretty sure he went to Seattle, and I can't remember the other acquisitions offhand, but I don't think they did enough. Definitely, like you said, in the AL East to keep up with the Yankees, although they are free falling. Pete, I agree with you. They will at least right the ship enough to stay afloat, and that's going to help when Giancarlo Stanton comes back. If he can come back, he's supposed to be coming maybe this coming week. If that guy can start hitting bombs, and that just good hitting is contagious, and when that team starts hitting again, it's going to be trouble. Tampa is a great team, and they seem to get better as the season goes on, and when they hit into the playoffs. I just recently made an acquisition of Randy Arozarena in fantasy, so I'm really hoping he turns into a high-end player coming through the final 40 games here.
He usually dominates in September and October. So.
I know. So I'm hoping. But no, I don't think they did enough either. I would have liked to have seen with the Jess. I specifically remember you and I at the beginning of the season talking about Kikuchi, and we both said he was a meh number 5 starter, and he has been worse than a meh number 5 starter.
Isn't that why they put him in the pin?
I mean, that's the only it was either that or you're done, right?
Well, I heard they wanted to send him down, but he didn't want to go. He'd rather go.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he was like, I want to still be pitching up here in the majors, so they sent him to the pen.
Yeah, and that's okay because a great long man, right? Even though he's shit, he's still a good guy that can be stretched out in a game like that if he needs to be. If the Jays get down by a whole bunch, hopefully they don't in the next 42 games, but and a good lefty arm to come in and maybe situational, right? So maybe I shouldn't say good lefty arm, a lefty arm situational. Wow, but
guy that can play. That's all. So you said they didn't do enough. So you think they do not make a wild card spot?
No, I think they make a wild card spot, but I think I think they're going to be number 2 or number 3 now. I think Seattle and Tampa are going to end up pulling away. I don't know. I'm on the fence everywhere on this team. I just don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. Like they have great spurts, the Jays, and then they have shit spurts. So like they're 65-55, 42 games to go. They're 8-10 in August, which is not great. They lost 4 times to Baltimore. They've won 4 of their last 5, and 3 of them are against the Yankees. So it's like, yeah, which is great. So, but it's
they're
like,
also free falling. So
like,
they shit in the bed.
yeah, it's so you're
You'd
like,
rather beat Baltimore at this point because they're challenging.
right?
for
They're
them.
coming. Yeah, they're on the upcoming, right? So
and they're beating us.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, man. I think they are going to make it. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the 2-hole, the wild card 2-hole. So would I guess probably just behind Seattle, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be in that top spot, but I just think they could have done more at the deadline. Maybe they did enough to keep up with them, but they could have and should have done more. You only have a certain amount of time with these players, and you need to go now. Like they need to make a push for Syndergaard, in my opinion. There was talk about Juan Soto. I don't think that would have been, sure, it would have been a great player, but I think you unload way too much to go for him.
With all the hitters on our team, they should have gone harder in the pitching.
Exactly. That's what I think too. So
but are the hitters on the team playing well enough though to warrant that? Like you go through the names and you're like, oh yeah, like at the start of the year, this team was like number 2 in the odds for the to win it all.
Yep,
but
Dodgers.
They're just not doing it. So I don't know. Maybe this year is not the year to go all in. Maybe it's better to wait a year. I don't know who they're going to lose at the end of the year.
Thing is you're now losing then a year of Vlad and a year of Bo in their prime.
Right.
Even I would even say Springer in his prime. I realize he's hurt a whole bunch, but he's still in his prime. Like
Springer's probably the bigger discussion than the 2 young guys, right? Like they're, as long as they don't go anywhere, they're gonna probably get better or at least continue on the path they're on. Springer is probably approaching the decline.
Seems like he is a bit, like when he's in, he's a superstar. He's still playing at a super high level.
Yeah.
The offensive and defensive, but he can't stand.
But it's the injuries,
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate because I bought a goddamn jersey. He's always hurt.
You haven't even worn it to a game.
No,
yet.
not even. So anyway, before the late game tonight, which is Baltimore-Boston, the Yanks were obviously leading. The Rays and the Jays were 8 games behind. Baltimore is 11 games behind, and Boston is 13.5. We're all on the same page, I think. Kev, I think you would be too. To hear from you on the whether the Yanks would lose this division, as everybody had during their conversation had said that they were still going to win the division.
As I've watched the video of the actual manager, how he kind of freaked out, but he basically said, "We still holding the pen. We are still writing the script in regards to what we're going to be doing here." And I don't think that they're gonna win it, the division, but I don't see them winning it. But I mean, the World Series, not the division. But yeah, no. I mean, they're fucking well ahead. So I mean, bad games
is
are
a lot.
Yeah, bad games are bad games. I mean, you don't think that they're not going to get their heads out of their asses and start playing Yankee ball again. So
for sure, like the Jays have 2 games against them to go, which only knocks that 8 games to 6 if they win them both, right? And you need to win a lot of games, and you need a lot of help from the Tampa, the Baltimore, the Boston, and the few other teams that they're going to play. And they're going to come back. They're going to come back and start playing half decent again. It's just going to take 1 or 2 guys to start getting hot, and it's contagious, right?
And that's exactly once 1 or 2, maybe 3, and like you said, Yosh, it's just going to be contagious. People are going to start getting the swing of things again, and they're a scary group
for sure. So as I said, the Jays have 2 against the Yanks left. They have 7 versus Tampa, which is huge. 10 versus Baltimore, which could be even bigger.
Yeah.
And then 6 versus Boston, which obviously can still help, but it's obviously not so much of a big deal as they're in the bottom dwellers here, which I don't think any of us saw coming. Boston being the basement.
No, but to be fair, Baltimore has been a big surprise this year.
Yeah,
I just wanted Hayes to sign my fucking baseball.
Hey, all right, so wild card, Seattle is up a half a game. Tampa and Toronto are tied for the I guess the first or second and third spot at 0 games. And the Minnesota Twins are next up with 2.5 games back. The Jays have 0 games against Seattle, 0 games against Minnesota. You guys so confident they're going to make a wild card game? We all said before. Initially, we all said, I'm pretty sure they were winning division.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. Initially,
yeah. Everyone said at the beginning of the season that they were going to win the division.
So then we re-upped and I think most of us said I'm pretty sure we all said there was no chance they were winning.
I was on the bandwagon. Like, yeah, they can come back. There's lots of games, but yeah. And then I jumped on, I think, the last time back onto the Yanks.
So they're tied for that second spot right now, wild card spot. Minnesota's 2.5 games back, so there's a good cushion there. So they still gonna make it?
So I'm not going to challenge it because I'm looking right at it, but it's Tampa and Toronto are tied. They have identical records from what I see.
That's what I said.
That's what he has.
Both 0 games back, bro.
I thought you said they were tied for second behind Tampa. Isn't that what you said? Did I hear you wrong? Okay.
If I said they were tied with Tampa, how could they be behind Tampa?
No, you said I thought I heard that they were tied for the second wildcard spot behind. Like no one has the first wildcard spot right now.
Seattle does.
Oh, Seattle did when I did up our little thing here.
Okay, so Seattle, you said it's a 3-way tie. Seattle's played 2 more games. They won 1, lost 1.
Okay. So it's 0. Everybody's 0-0-0 across the board.
Yeah.
At this particular time, 10:45 on Sunday.
But we got 2 games in hand, Pete.
Right.
Cool.
So they're technically third
for us.
Yeah.
But barely.
Okay. So Seattle must have lost today then.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So they're tied for the first wild card spot. So you're still confident. I mean, like I said, I thought that they would still be making a spot. Is everybody on the same page? You're going to get a wild card spot?
I mean, yeah, I still think so, but I could certainly see them dropping out. It's not outside the realm of possibility at all anymore.
So you think that 2.5 games from Minnesota, they're the next up?
I'm more worried about Baltimore.
We have 10 games against them.
Exactly.
I understand where he's coming from because we haven't played well against them.
Right. Yeah. And I'm saying if we beat them, 60%, we're good, right? But
we just got to go to the games and just chirp Hayes and they'll do well.
I mean, you have a point there, Kev.
A second last series of the year is against it's just saying last series is in Boston.
I'm going to bring my baseball and ask him to sign it again.
Fuck Boston. You mean the baseball you didn't catch?
No, the one I gathered where the guy went like this. You didn't want to.
Gathered. Hunters and gatherers. All right. So everybody thinks we're going to at least make a wild card game. That's good. That's good. So are they full out contenders? Or are they?
Nah, they're going to fall. They're going to fall just like the Leafs. They'll never get out of the first round.
So you think they lose the wild card? That's what you think, Kevin?
Yep.
How's the wild card work? So do they play like there's 3 division winners and 3 wild card teams? So they just play a division winner?
I'm pretty sure it's 1-6.
Yep.
Yeah.
1-6-2-5. And
so today,
so
if it happened today, they would play the Yankees.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind that matchup.
So do you take the W there? Or do you take an L?
I mean,
what are the other teams? You got Houston and Cleveland are going to be the division winners, right?
I think that Jays can win a wild
Minnesota,
card game.
sorry.
Is it a wild card series or a wild card game?
I believe it. Okay, it used to be just a game.
That's what I
No,
thought.
it's a series. I think it's 3 games.
Right, because
What?
because it's 1 versus 6 now.
See, 3 is not so bad for us because we have like 3 okay pitchers. We have 3 or just 2? No, 3. Barrios could
If you catch him on a good
As
day.
long as and he's at home, right? Or is it home or is he
Yeah.
away? I think it's at home. He's good. And I think
Yeah, see, I don't mind their chances in a 3-game series because where they really struggle is the 4 and 5 of the rotation is fucking shit.
well, especially 5.
Yeah,
Like 4
Like Barrios
sometimes we
and
get
tripling is okay.
Yeah, we get through with stripling and
Yeah.
we can limp through a 4 spot.
Yeah.
But the 5 hurts us big time.
Right. But so you got 2 good pitchers. I'll take Manoah and Gossman all day. And as long as the bats don't fucking sleep through the playoffs, I could see the Jays still taking any series against any team in the AL in a wild card series.
So you got him through the first wild card round. Anywhere past that?
I
mean,
think that
We got 40 games left. You know I'm not gonna ask this again, but
I don't think so. I think when the series gets too long, the holes in the rotation are going to show through too much, and the bats have been too inconsistent to hide those things.
even if they light it up, even if they're putting up 7 runs a game, can the 4 and 5 pitcher keep the other team down from 4, 5, 6, 7?
Well,
runs?
it's not even just them; it's the bullpen too.
Yeah, in the bullpen, which I'm still not that confident with our bullpen.
So you're a contender until the wild card, and then they're pretenders.
Yeah.
Jess, what do you think?
I would say they can get probably the first round, get the wild card series, and then depending how it lays, they might be able to do something. Peter, like Peter already explained, like it's the rotation of the end part, and even with Barrios, like he's either amazing or he's just horrible.
Yeah.
So, but in the playoffs, do they take a gap between games? Like, is it game day off game?
No, they can play up back to back. I think I'm pretty sure.
I think it's back to back, and then you get a day off because you travel.
I think you can do. Yeah, well, you
Oh,
might
no,
be right,
it's-
but I think you can do 3 back to back when it's in the later of the series.
Because is it 2-2, 1-1-1 in a 7-game series in baseball?
They do 2-3-2. I thought.
2-3-2.
Yeah, they do it the smart way.
Oh, I don't know if I like 2-3-2 then.
No, me neither. But
Yeah.
It saves
What do
on
you-
travel.
who gives a fuck about travel?
Fuck? It's the finals, man. Fucking
The amount of
travel.
money this fucking sport earns, you can't
Yeah.
afford a private jet. Come on, bit of fuel.
I personally like it that way, to tell you the truth.
No, 2-2,
'Cause you
1-1-1
get
is the right.
Back
fucking
to
answer.
back chances.
Okay, so Jess, you're pretty much the same as Pete, contender through the wild card, but pretenders are.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it to the ALCS.
Kev.
I don't see them making it either, man. They're like no.
Didn't you call the World Series like?
Maybe, but no, I don't see it. I don't see them going through the wild card.
See, they're not. They're gonna make a wild card, but not win the wild card.
That's correct.
So they're pretenders in Kev's book.
Yeah. Fuck. See this?
Oh wow, that's disrespectful.
Did we find out if it is a series or not?
Are you fishing?
It,
you gonna
no,
challenge?
it's
You gonna
got- it
challenge?
is a series for sure.
Yeah. If it was just one game, do you go Manoah or Gossman?
Noah.
But no, 100%. For sure. Gossman's been too iffy I think his home away splits are shit. So maybe if I can't remember
Depends
if
if it's home or away.
Exactly. I can't remember which
But
one is which.
it's gonna be away though.
Doesn't matter for me. Manoah all the way.
Yeah.
This guy is like, he's not afraid of anyone.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So I think I'm gonna call them contenders. They're gonna get to the CS, but they'll lose the CS.
Against 2.
I would have to look at.
Fucking asterisks.
Yeah, probably the asterisk. I was gonna say I didn't look at the actual bracket, but it would probably be the asterisks. All right.
All the way to the ALCS.
Yeah,
Wow.
I still love them, man. I still love them. Can't go against them. I don't like the Yankees. Remember, I chose the Yankees last year, and you guys ripped me. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Done that.
quarter of the season to go. 42 games for the Jays. In episode 14, we all gave our total win prediction for the
I should have
Jays.
stayed with my 98.
And we were all wrong.
I should have stayed with my 98.
I mean, I can still
98's way too high.
technically we can all still hit our number, but the
Yeah, but
Jays
we won't.
really,
We
really,
won't.
really need to go on a tear.
There's no way.
For
No
this.
way.
So I said 97 wins. Pete, you said 100. Jesse went over you with Price is Right rules 102, and then Kev prices double up to him. The Price is Right with 102.
Jesse had 101. Yeah, he said 102.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Anyway, so my new prediction here, I think they will win one game less than 2/3 of the games remaining, which puts them at 93.
Have a calculator out for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
100%. So I'm saying they get to 92 wins from now. They currently have 65.
What'd they get last year?
That's what I was just gonna say.
I think it was like they got 91 last year or some shit like that.
I don't remember.
And they missed by a game.
yeah, we were at that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were mainly watching the Boston game for the
That's
most
right
part,
on the
'cause
on the
the Jays
I'm gonna say
smashed the Orioles.
91 again this year, but this year they make it.
91 wins this year, but they make it. All right, I'll put that in there. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Episode 24, 10 episodes later. I'd like to say 10 weeks, but it was more like 20 weeks later. We've been slacking on these shows. Summer has been busy this year. 2022 summer has been crazy.
What are you gonna say, Jess? What's your number now? What are you gonna say? 90.
Are you gonna Price is Right his ass?
Peter said
No, 'cause I
90.
know Kev's gonna do it right now too.
He can't because I prices rated myself. with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Nobody's gonna do it to me. Yeah, I'll just do 93. Okay, go ahead there, Kev. Just do
$1. $1.
$1. So
$1.
So you
before
guys think
answer-
okay.
Kev, before you answer, I just want to throw something out there.
Huh.
They are a 542 win percentage so far on the year.
Okay.
Over 162 games, that's 88 wins, rounding up. 88.
Okay.
So if
I'm
they
gonna go-
play on their current pace, they're going to hit 88.
okay, then I'll say 89.
See, I think they're just gonna be a little better than that, man.
Yeah, I think they played not shit, but not as well as they could through the so far, and they added at the trade deadline. I think they're going to be a little better.
No, I'm gonna change my number. I'm gonna go 90.
Oh,
No,
I'm gonna go
no.
90. I'm gonna go 90.
wow. All right. Well, that's okay. So he goes from the highest to the lowest in 10 episodes.
A lot happened in those 10 episodes.
That's fair. That's fair. What was it? 89 you said, Pete, would be the
88,
88.
88 games?
87.8, really. So
Yeah, I think they're gonna hit 92, boys.
I think they're at their stride, and fucking we'll see.
That's what I think, man.
Finish hot.
I think they're going to match last year's record exactly, but make the playoffs, and we'll be like, see,
Did we
should have made it
confirm?
last year.
Did we confirm that 2021 was 91 wins? We
No,
should have.
because no one challenged it.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I mean, I just want your claim to be right.
Blue
Well, then
Jays
challenge
record,
them.
2021. They only
Well, I
won
don't-
72 games.
What?
Yeah, 91-71. Yeah.
There you go. All right, boys. It's gonna do it for me blabbing about the Blue Jays. Pete, you can take your hat off now if you want.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Attaboy.
I believe 91 wins for a wild card spot.
Oh, Kev's dusting it off. He's dusting it off, even though he doesn't think they're gonna do even make through the wild card.
He even went under the headphones this time.
Yeah, More comfortable that way. More comfortable.
How did he manage to get it sit on tops the first part?
That's nice.
Must be stretchy.
Oh no, she's a stretchy one. Yeah.
That's what Deshaun said. Kev,
Hey-o!
Jesse, why don't you talk
Almost
about
a good
Deshaun?
transition.
Yeah, almost, and then I fucked it up.
Don't worry, I'll fix it.
Thanks, Mr. Editor.
All righty, so NFL preseason start. I have watched a little bit, but not a whole lot because again, it's preseason.
Preseason, no one gives a fuck.
Hey,
Yep.
Bears are 2-0, boys. You know what that means?
Not
0-16.
It's preseason. That's what that means.
Sorry, 0-17.
I think that happened with Detroit when they went 4-0 in the
4-0,
season, and then 0-16 in the regular season. Yeah, if you win the preseason, it definitely correlates to the regular season.
For sure. To losing it.
Inversely.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Watson is playing the preseason, but he will be suspended for the regular season. So this has been a long-going saga. We haven't touched on a lot because there hasn't been a whole lot of facts, and we just wanted to stay away from it for most part. But now we know it's right there. He's going to be suspended for 11 games and fined just a measly $5 million. Pocket change for this guy. So initially, yeah, but it is pocket change for this guy. Initially, there was an officer, so with the new CBA, that did the investigation to try and figure out what exactly happened. And she said that it could be sexual harassment and all that shit that we don't want to really talk about a whole lot, but he wasn't good. He wasn't a good guy. And
Allegedly.
Oh,
He's still holding his innocence.
that's why all the settlements happened, right?
Fair
But
enough.
there's no criminal charges, so he still implicitly says he's innocent, but he's got settlements.
But I paid everyone off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Except for one. Except for one. I think there's only one remaining.
Sure. So originally, this officer that was doing this investigation had given him 6 games, which everyone thought that was pretty low for over 24 women that were filing these suits. And I think there was a thing that happened with Zeke, and he was gone for multiple games too. And it was just one woman at the time. And so Goodell ended up going after to get in the whole season, as he missed all of last year because it was a PR frenzy that had happened with Deshaun last year with the Texans. And now they've settled on 11 games. And when you know it, the game that he comes back to play, he's going against his former team.
If he plays.
There is a chance that he might not play because he's got to go comply with evaluation and treatment recommendations of a third-party behavioral expert to be reinstated. So he's got to go through psychological training, trying to get him to figure out how he approached everything incorrectly, how he did just be a better human, pretty much is what it seems like to me. But he still says he's innocent, and he still gets tons of questions, and he's apologized to women, and the press has gone to them and said, like, the actual women that have gotten the settlements and stuff like that, and he kind of danced around the question for the most part. So he seems still pretty arrogant that he doesn't think he did anything wrong, but with all this going on, it's tough to see where this actually lands. And if it's not, I think it should be on him, but it's tough. A lot of the Browns fans have walked away, and then some of them are still celebrating. So it's all over the place, and there's lots of stuff that's still inconsistent with what's going on. But there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of remorse from Watson's point of view, at least in the press conferences. So he'll have to comply with the treatment plan to be able to get reinstated after his 11-game suspension, which he'll be back for week 13. So my question to you guys, do you guys think this is fair? Do you think he should have gotten less? Do you guys think he should have gotten more?
He should have been done a whole fucking year, bud. I mean,
Okay.
I think for sure he should have been done for the whole year. 6 games, and then you turn it to 11. No, I mean, for the amount of money these Browns are paying him, I just think it's ridiculous because he knew he had to pay out, and that's why he had all this money. I personally think he knew what he was doing, and like you said, he's paying everybody off. And I think it should have been a complete year. I mean, if a guy can take a knee and he's never seen a game after that, this is ridiculous, man. I mean, this guy can go out there and do this to women and he still be able to play. But you have a guy take a knee and he's not touched a football ever since. That's some crap. That's shit.
Yeah, he's referring to Kaepernick, but yeah. I mean, you have to also remember he didn't play it all last year, too. He could have solved all this last year as well, too, by just settling back then and crushing the story.
Right, but he'd still be able to play in the NFL.
He probably would have been suspended still.
Yeah, but still
it probably
be
been
able,
over by now.
yeah, but still be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I just think he should have been done the whole year. And then you bring the San Fran QB in there to take his spot.
Garoppolo?
Yeah.
And you've got Garoppolo and Deshaun next year, so then that just creates more problems later.
Then you just get rid of Garoppolo.
I mean, depending on contract.
I think Garoppolo's this is his last season.
Okay, well, then the contract wouldn't make a difference there, but
Right. I like you said, again, guys, I don't think this guy should be playing or touching a football at all. It's just me.
okay, so my thing here is the inconsistency between suspensions and between reason for suspension. Okay, it went from 6 games to 11 games, and if they have deemed that is warranted to increase those games based on the accusations and settlements and so on and so forth, that's one thing. So 11 games. A man that bet on some football games got an entire season plus last year, Ken Calvin Ridley. So he is completely out for this season, 2022 year, for betting on some games. I understand that's the whole Pete Rose thing. It's detrimental to the league when you're betting on, whether they're your own games or not. But this is nothing compared to sexual assault. So why is this guy getting, let's ballpark it and say 20 games from what he missed last year? I'm not 100% sure in the games he missed last year compared to the 17 games he's going to miss this year, or in addition to the 17 games. So why does Ridley get ballpark 20?
Ridley, okay, yeah.
Right. So why does Ridley get the ballpark 20 game suspension for betting on the game, and Watson gets 11 for this
Touching,
for the sexual assault allegations, and like you said, Jess, settlements, which usually leads to or means I was a guilty motherfucker. There was Josh Gordon. I can't remember. That was a few years back, smoking some weed.
Years and years because he was high.
We had Will Fuller in 2020. He had to make 6 games because of performance-enhancing drugs. DeAndre Hopkins just recently 6 games. So he will miss the first 6 games of this season because of performance-enhancing 6 games. So we're comparing now 6 games for this performance-enhancing for DeAndre, and initially 6 games for Deshaun Watson. That's an issue. Obviously it was increased to the 11, but Kev, I'm on the same page with you, man. If we assume with the settlements, the allegations were at least a little bit true, right? And he didn't want to get thrown under the bus even more, miss any more time. Let's settle everything. There was no criminal charges, of course, because maybe they were I don't know why there was no criminal
The
charges,
court,
but
there was a court in Texas that deemed that it wasn't.
I think they didn't have enough evidence because it's
Yeah.
literally hearsay, or it's your word versus mine. So, but it's tough. Why do you get such a steep penalty for betting as compared to an off field? I mean, both are off field issues, but like the performance enhancing is on field, so that literally changes the game.
You could say that gambling's on field if you're playing in that game and
if you're playing on the game, but he was injured at the time when he was betting.
Was he injured or was he off that
well, he might have been on like mental leave or whatever the hell.
He had that mental leave too,
yeah,
which
so
could have just still been the gambling thing too.
Right. But either way, he wasn't playing in those games. Yes, I know the Pete Rose thing. I think he was playing in some of those games. So
or managing those games.
Right.
Too.
So it's a little different in that sense.
Well, yeah,
right?
there's no evidence of him actually playing. It was when he was coaching.
Yeah, he's
but there is allegations of him betting.
No, he admitted it, man. He said he did it. He said openly that I did it, but why I should still be in the Hall of Fame.
So like I'm looking at here, I just got some of these, like Josh Gordon, he was indefinitely suspended in 2018, reinstated, and then indefinitely suspended again in 2019, all for performance enhancing. So they're like, you're done completely.
Well, they mashed the two together, I think, now with performance enhancing and weed now.
Fair enough.
Which there is a different degree now. Like if you have smoked weed and you get tested for it, you get it's like it's like a game or something like that. But if you're a repeat offender like him, you're gonna get indefinite.
Exactly. So my issue is the inconsistency in the NFL dependent on what your suspension is for. I mean, I'm sure I could go back to find the Ray Rice issue. What was he like? Obviously he didn't play another game in the NFL after that, or not. I'm pretty sure he didn't anyway, but so it's not okay to hit your wife, but AP hit his kid and it was okay, right? Because he came back. He was suspended and then he came back.
He was suspended for a lot of games though too.
He was, but he was able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe the Ray Rice thing was based on more not coming back because of his talent level at that time, maybe, or his age, whatever. But it just goes to it seems like there is I don't know if it's a double standard, but there's definitely indiscretions between these suspensions for whatever it is, and I think they need to tighten up on it. I think 11 games for sexual assault, but
allegedly.
It is that too, but it's also the quantity too. Like there's a lot of ladies that went on this class.
Right. So if it's one or two, I'm probably maybe because he's a man, in the spotlight, maybe you lean towards him, right? If it's one or two women, but when it comes to 24,
yeah,
it's not 24. Just right. So it's not just somebody who, maybe be looking for a quick payday type thing. Not that these ladies were. I'm not suggesting that, but when there's 24, it's a pretty good indication that something, even if it was like, hey, does this massage come with a happy ending? Like that right there is still that's sexual assault, man. If it's not assault, it's harassment. So just asking that is, if he did that 25 times, and I'm assuming it was worse than that. So. But like I said, the difference between suspension and the severity of the suspension based on what you did seems to be very inconsistent in the NFL and needs to be addressed.
Yeah, for sure. 11 games to me is shit. That's just whatever.
So I don't understand how it got to 11 games though. Like apparently the NFL and Goodell wanted the whole season and then they negotiated down to 11.
No, there was
why?
A judge gave him 6, and then Adele challenged and said, "No, we're gonna fight this. We want more games."
But why isn't it just the whole season? Why don't they have the power to just say no?
Because you can do appeals. You could be doing appeals and continue this on. NFL and NFLPA want to just end this more or less, get this over and done with.
Right.
And that's why they settled on 11 games.
season. Should have been a season. It's just, oh man, it's just so stupid. How again, to me, I think Kaepernick should be back in the NFL long ago. I mean, like again, Josh, you talk about people beating their girlfriends, beating their kids and shit like this, and they're still fucking playing the game. A guy takes a knee to stand up before any of this stuff even started as knowledge about Black Lives Matter. And the guy's never touched a ball ever since. That's
He's
bullshit.
touched a ball. He's just never taken the NFL snap.
I think you know what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just that to me is bullshit. Sorry.
I mean, you're right, Kev. It is bullshit. You know, unfortunately, the two, although have relevance because they have both missed games. Like he was never suspended, right? He was just blacklisted, blackballed.
Officially.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's not like Goodell said, "Hey, you fucking kneel one more time," and you're, you know, every time you kneel, you're suspended for a game, you know, and then he did it 80 times, so he's can't play for the next 5 years or however long it's been, right? Like, but it looks at the way that the NFL looks at certain instances and certain happenings of the league in general and the players of the league and what happens, and puts a question mark on a lot of things for sure.
The only thing I want to say about the Calvin Ridley the whole year is optics. And the same thing with PEDs. They don't want they want to make this so severe that they don't want anyone trying to gamble. It's so easy to gamble now.
They should make it so hard that nobody wants to give sexual assault out. That's what Kevin's getting at, right? Like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and that's part of the thing too. But I'm just saying, from the NFL standpoint, is sexual assault is not as bad.
It's probably lower on the scale than gambling. Yeah,
this is because it wrecks their game, right? But it was just suits that were settled. There's nothing criminal. So the evidence is there. The evidence has been poured through for the last year and a bit, and there's nothing that can be like, you could definitely suspend them longer for the year, which I'm all for, and which I kind of expected because I didn't think they were going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But they just do not want anything. They just signed a huge thing a couple years ago or whatever last year about they're trying to get the streaming together with, or not the streaming, the gambling together with the NFL, so they get a piece of that, and they don't need their players getting into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the PEDs is just for fair game, more or less. Like, they don't want to do what happened to baseball, right? Even though the PEDs pretty much saved baseball too.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Actually, one more thing I would like to say about this is, so at the very beginning, just when you started this, you said that he was going to be suspended for 11 games and fined a measly $5 million. And we haven't said anything about the $5 million. And the reason that he's only been been fined the $5 million is because of his contract.
And it's also going to a donation. It's not going to anything else. It's going to it's whatever donation that's.
It's supposed to go into programs to help.
Okay, that's
sexual assault.
What do you mean it's because of his contract?
They backloaded his contract, so he doesn't get paid fuck all this year. So his game checks. So
it's a percentage.
Exactly. So his game checks are fuck all this year because they knew or figured that he was going to be suspended for a significant time. So all the money is coming in the following years. Right. So that's why it's only $5 million.
Also, you're a multi-million-dollar NFL quarterback. Just pull a Robert Kraft and go to a proper rub and tug. Get a happy ending.
Dude, you don't need to do that, man. Just be like, yo, I'm a fucking NFL
just go to
QB.
the club with grocery bags full of cash.
Here's some money. Do something to me.
Just jump on Tinder. Like, that's all you need.
Man, yeah, I don't even think you need to pay for it as an NFL QB, man. Just walk into a place and be like, yo, I'm an NFL QB.
I'm Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Google me.
Exactly. Shit. Oh,
motherfucker must have no game at all. No game.
Fuck, man.
I don't think so, Kev. Like, if his whole fucking play was just to fucking whip his dick out at a massage, you assume it's not a little fucking baby
Well,
dick.
maybe they didn't see it until the towel actually lifted. I don't know.
It only lifted a little bit. What
do you want me to do with that?
I mean, maybe they were disappointed.
That's what they. That's
But
what
I
they did,
doubt it. I mean, they were disappointed for sure that he did that.
for sure.
I don't think they were excited to hop on anything.
All right, let's move on to which could have been a penalty box to another penalty box with Kev. What do you got?
Well, our famous guy Jake Paul. We all love to talk about this dumb fuck.
Yeah, we do.
So Jake Paul, who is 5-0 in his boxing video or
His career.
Yeah.
decided to take his talents to the ball diamond, taking batting practice with the Miami Marlins. Now, donning a custom jersey, like I mentioned, he proceeded to embarrass himself with like horror. I mean, beyond horror, awful swings. I mean, one of them looked like my kid could like took a swing at a ball, and I don't know if he made a contact.
Your kids
or
are
some,
adults.
Yeah,
Just
but I mean,
It'd be more funny if it was Peter's kid.
I mean, I honestly think that either one of my children would have hit the ball or made some kind of contact as Paul did or little of. Now, Paul flaunts himself as an all-around athlete. In my opinion, he should stick to the vine of videos, because other than his boxing 5.0,
Vine.
That's what they started with, man.
Didn't Vine go away like 5 years ago?
Yeah, for sure. He's on TikTok now or whatever. But
whatever.
YouTube.
It started with the Vine video. That's where his famousness came from.
I mean, this guy just got to stop. I mean, you're not who you think you may be or who you should be. Fight a boxer, you'll be 5-1 or whatever. It was pathetic to watch him swing a bat. It was fucking comical.
It was pretty funny.
It was too funny.
Yeah, I was watching it, and of course, like you said, he's got the custom jersey, which is 5-0, because he's a cool dude and he's got to flaunt his fake boxing career. And he was horrible. Like I said, more awful. He was bad, man.
It was real bad.
He looked like shit swinging, and considering he does consider himself that all-around athlete, like you think that you're gonna have a half decent swing at a baseball, and Jesse, you had mentioned it before, like go out and practice a little bit before you're gonna be on video in a pro fucking stadium.
Well, he did this because he was actually throwing out the first pitch too. I mean, he wasn't just there to be there. He was there, and he threw out the first pitch. But
so he knew he was going to be there, though. So if you're going to take BP, man, don't look stupid. Mitch Marner fucking did it just within the past couple of weeks and with the Jays, and he looked good swinging a baseball bat. Like, and that's Mitch Marner. Like, so that's good. That's great. But come on, man.
Come on, man.
You got to be better than that.
But he probably hit BP beforehand.
Right, because Mitch Marner's not fucking stupid.
Show me how to swing a bat.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. It was pretty funny when I saw it. I'm like, this kid, man, like, fuck.
The best part was he wasn't even stepping in. He was just like
swinging, just
all arms. That's all he was. He was barely turning.
He's a boxer, man. They don't work on the lower body. The boxers just work on the upper body, right?
I think it was the
skip leg day every day.
It was the unbuttoned jersey. I think that was causing him the problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was all white too, like white jeans or whatever, and white sneakers with like yellow fucking laces.
Yeah, what were they? Jordans or what were they?
I don't know, but his laces match his fucking hair, and it was bad. Man.
It was real bad.
Like, I know at least 3 of us, Pete, sorry, bud, but at least 3 of us could make contact to a few balls in a fucking pro BP situation.
For sure. I mean, they couldn't be coming in at 80 some odd mile an hour. I mean, whatever kilometers, whatever they're throwing. I mean, the
it
guy's
was
not
probably
whipping them.
less than that.
Yeah, the guy's
It
not
was-
whipping them 70s. I mean,
It looked like he was lobbing them in them pretty good, man. Like
Yeah.
it might have been right up my alley with the slow pitch, the way they are
they
arcing.
go,
Jessica for sure hit him because he used to play hardball. But
I had played hardball, but I was back in my day.
well, that was
like
way
back-
too long ago.
Way like maybe 40 some odd some years ago.
It didn't even look like he was opening his eyes. He was swinging with his
Eyes
eyes
closed.
Pretty much. Just like he
Just
throws.
hoping.
That's how he throws fucking hooks, man. Eyes closed.
Something will land eventually.
Did I hit him?
Fuck. All right, boys. We are winding episode 24 up. We've been off for about 3 weeks. We're winding it up. We played a couple rounds of golf.
Yep.
During the time, we were way too busy to do this podcast, but we did find some time to play some golf.
It's the summertime, man. I mean, we're doing
Priorities, okay?
That's right.
we're doing
Yeah.
some bar crawls, the wife and I. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
it's the summer. It's just
Golf has also contributed to us not doing it because we get so sunbaked.
This is true.
Yeah,
This is
it's
true.
usually on a Sunday, which
I
is
love-
usually a recording day. And we're just like,
Hey,
no.
Shout out to us for finishing 2 weeks ago because I thought we were all going to die on the course. It
Yeah,
was
it was-
40
it's
degree
hot.
heat.
We
We
were
were
the only ones walking too.
those
Yeah.
rounds are great for me, though, man. The
Yeah.
warmer, the better.
Well, walking up and down. Basically, we're in the Hamilton
I was a
Burlington
puddle.
escarpment.
A puddle.
and- oh yeah, walking
You're
up and
showing
down the
up with
fucking mountain.
soaked t-shirt already.
Oh,
Jumps out of the air conditioning and starts lactating.
The boys thought I dosed myself in water before I showed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not so much. Not so much. All right, Petey. Let's go over the scores for this week quickly, and then I know we're probably going to talk about golf because we had a couple rounds in there. So let's go over that too.
All right, so just the one challenge this week, Kev. Sorry, but they did not count the scores from the January, December.
At least we got a challenge. And
Junior.
that's important.
Attaboy, Kev.
I am here to help.
You mentioned that when we were golfing yesterday,
I saw your face too,
and I went, huh. I'm not going to say anything now.
You're just hoping that fuck I'd bring it up again. That's all.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so you did. So that's a +1 for me and a -1 for Kev on the day in challenges. And then we have 2 rounds of golf that we were all together for in the time since we've done the last show. First at Lowville in Burlington.
Right on the escarpment, hot as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Hot
And it
as
was
balls.
Up and
Fucking
down.
up and down.
Up and
Up
down.
and down. Up
My
and
ass
down.
cheeks were fucking burning.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
But apparently that's good for my game because I played great.
I played good too.
Great for me, at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey.
you sucked.
No, what did I talk about? I got a 0. Fuck you all.
Yeah, but
Hey, when we showed up to this course, I noticed everybody else in carts. And we already paid. We already said we were going to walk. And I walked in afterwards and I said to the guy at the pro shop, I said, are we going to regret walking this course? And he goes, you'll be all right for the front 9. He's like, you're probably going to struggle on the back 9. And as I mentioned earlier, we were in 40-degree heat. But you know what? We fucking did it, boys. We
yeah.
walked it. It was a struggle. The last 3 holes were a struggle, 100%.
And
I
you know
was
how
dragging my ass.
Jake Paul says he's an all-around athlete? We
Mhm.
we are not. We are. We can enter the world dad bod competition and come out on top.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. It was a
Yeah.
hell of a fucking day, but boys, it was a really nice course and it
Beautiful course.
Great course.
wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I think either driving in 40-degree heat or walking in not 40-degree heat, we would have been fine and probably would have shot even better. And we didn't shoot half bad. We didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, but so I won that round for the +2. Josh, you were second for the +1.
Yeah.
Cav brought up third for a solid 0. And
Sorry, Jess.
get used to this. Jesse brought up the rear. Then we played again. Yes.
We're supposed to have handicaps, but not this
Yeah.
year.
We're
Not
not
yet.
So we played again yesterday at Guelph Lakes. Another nice course. Not nearly as hot.
It was just as long, I think.
Yeah, just as long, but probably about like 3/4 of the up and down.
Yeah,
I would say.
But no cart girl. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
Slows the game down, bro.
I don't care.
And no halfway house either out there.
There are some things worth slowing the game down for, and a cart girl is one of them.
I agree. Though I agree.
She got good. She could have got some good tips.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as she had cold beer,
yeah, and water and Gatorade, fucking whatever.
Yep.
Anywho, no cart girl. So we were a bit warm, but luckily it wasn't nearly as hot as Lowville a couple weeks ago.
It was still hot as fuck, though.
It was hot. It's August. Kev won that one for the +2. I was second with a phenomenal comeback, by the way. 3 pars in a row to finish the round and come back from the bottom all the way to second place.
Should have been a DQ anyways, though.
I mean, I was about to say that. So this guy shows up late, can't Toronto traffic, all this excuses.
11:40.
Oh yeah, 11:40 exactly.
But we didn't actually tee off at 11:40.
Hey, yeah,
12:10.
11:50. Couldn't.
It was 11:50. It was 11:50. But he had time to go to Tim Hortons. Time to go to Tim Hortons in the morning.
Listen, that's true. I apparently didn't. I didn't know that. I checked my GPS before I left for our 11:40 tea time. It said 1 hour and 10. I said, okay, I'm going to leave at 10 o'clock. I'm going to stop at Tim Hortons for like 10 minutes. And then I'm going to get there at like 11:20. Lots of time to get myself ready for an 11:40 tea time. Tim Hortons was a shit show. Took 20 minutes. Got on the road at 10:20. And as soon as the GPS actually started working, it was like, oh, did I tell you an hour? Did I tell you an hour 10? More like 1 hour 40. Good luck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was no fun trying to get through the X. There's some fucking parade or something happening. It was a shit show. And the 401 the whole way is bad. I ended up being 15 minutes late for the fucking tea time. Not good.
So we should have given him a DQ, which would have automatically given him a -1. But we decided to give him the option of taking an 8, which is double par on the first hole, or taking the DQ. He obviously would take the 8 so that his score would count. Because he's, even with the 8, probably going to be Jesse. Sorry, bud.
Hey, I had him on the front 9.
Yeah, you did.
True, because that's where I had the 8.
Because he had an 8. Yeah.
And I had par off the first one too.
Yeah, you did. So he had an 8 on the front 9 and still made the comeback. So good on you, Pete. That was very good. You're probably sitting, let's assume you probably would have been 2 strokes better on the front 9 than you actually were. Based on that 8, I would say you probably get a 6 or better on that hole. But you were fucking late and you should have been DQ'd, which would have given me a +1 on that. But we fucked up. It also would have given Jesse the 0, which he would be quite happy about.
I've been stoked about that.
Yeah. So we should have DQ'd your ass, but
you didn't.
But we didn't. So
and I appreciate that. So I only got to play 17. The rest of you played 18. I took the double par on the first.
No wonder you got 3 fucking pars at the end. You were less tired than us.
Yeah, feeling good. Wanted to play another 18.
In AC and we were already out there.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I was sitting in AC, but I was fucking furious.
Yeah, you probably sweating,
banging on the fucking wheel. Go! Why won't you go?
Why is this line solid and I can't pass?
Good times. Let's do it all again soon.
Next week. Let's do it.
And then Josh only hit a 105 and Jesse did the 110.
Yeah. Josh got barely passed on the end.
No.
Jesse was passed well before the end.
Yeah. My short game definitely has been improved there, boys. You watch out for the next rounds.
Basically, when it comes down to it, between the 4 of us, unless we're playing at Beaverdale, if you shoot under 100, you go win. That's basically how it goes.
I think the next round will be good though. If I can fucking manage to show up on time. Which is a struggle.
I mentioned to Jesse before we teed off. I'm telling both of you guys we're teeing off half an hour before we actually do.
Smart.
Yeah. See, Kev and I were there nice and early. We shot a fucking small bucket of balls. We did a little chip and putt. You know, maybe I should do that and Kev should not the way that we ended. But
Yep. So the result of all that, including this episode, Peter is a +4 on the day,
+4. Oh my god.
which brings me right back to 0. Kev is a
pretty good day for Pete, really, considering.
Yeah. Kev is a +1 on the day, which brings him to +2.
That's close.
Jesse's a -2 on the day, brings him to +4.
Fuck yeah.
Damn, he's gonna pass me. Fucking
I've already been
Kev.
past you for fucking 3 weeks,
I
bud.
know. I'm talking about Kev, you fuck.
Yosh climbs up to +7 with a +1 on the day.
There you go.
Ugh.
So
That's
for
a
the
beautiful sight, boys.
for the
It is.
first time, I think, other than the first episode of each season, there is no one in the red.
Huh.
Huh.
Huh?
Huh.
Huh?
Does that mean we're smart? Or
Yeah.
No, it means that golf is fucking shit.
So when are we going golfing next, guys?
I'm good for next weekend, bro.
I'm good for next weekend, bro.
I'm probably not.
What, you got like a fucking wife and child coming home or something?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Well, my bad.
Yes. And you just want to end up with a 0 then? I mean, that's what happened if it's the 3 of us going on.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
saying
she doesn't get in till 2 on Saturday, so like 6 a.m. Saturday tea time.
Yeah, I'm in.
I could do that early.
Somewhat near Pearson Airport.
Oh, sorry. Saturday. I can't, boys. I work. I'm done at 10:30. We do it after 10:30. I'm in.
That's no good.
Go to Foxwood. We do 11 o'clock tee off.
That's no good.
No, if we do that, we have to go somewhere like downtown so Pete can get home, or to Pearson like at 2.
Yeah, that too, right?
Yeah.
Well,
What about what are you doing, Jess? You want to play? You play next week?
Fucking dog sitting, bro.
What?
bring the dog with you. Fuck him.
Bring the dog with me.
Put him in the cart. Let's get a cart. You're taking the dog for a 5-kilometer walk.
It's not.
Yeah,
He will
it's
help
not
you
my
find
dog.
the ball.
Yo,
Yeah.
seriously, you should. I'm gonna start a fucking golf course where you can
With
bring your
dogs.
dog. Fuck yeah.
You
Yeah,
do
man.
realize you're hitting balls all over a course, and you expect fucking dogs to obey that shit. They're gonna go.
No,
eat
you
it.
put-
They're gonna move your ball constantly.
No, you have someone watch them as you're golfing. They have their little play pals and stuff. They run around and
that sounds
play while
terrible.
we're golfing.
No,
And then we pick them up on the way out.
Oh,
Bring
I
him
was
with
gonna
you.
take him.
Bring him
Yeah,
with
take
you,
him for a
yeah.
walk, man. Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, dog, sit here while
They
I hit this
start
ball.
take a shot.
They start
yeah.
taking off with your golf clubs down the course.
Yeah. Or the bag. Or
I'll find it, Dad. I got it. Don't worry. You never lose the ball again, man. You never lose the ball.
Tie him onto your bag somehow, and
It's a good
just
thing
there
that
all
those-
day.
The water hazards. I got a lot of those back.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, fuck, boys. Well, I am quite happy that even though I have been mediocre at golf this year, it has
You've been mediocre enough to not hurt you.
and I have taken the lead, which I am super excited to try and hold this lead for the next 4 months,
Okay,
5
golf
months.
is
here.
almost over. Then you'll start falling apart.
I'm just not going to challenge anymore. Be like,
Yeah.
That's what you do in first place.
That's exactly what happens in the first place person. This person doesn't do shit more
Hey,
than
man.
challenges.
You
Whatever.
just sit there and just let everyone else make the mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, learn from the best, right?
I
Jess?
learned from you, Jess. That's right.
Guess who I learned it from?
All right.
I'll get there, boys. I'll get there.
Hey, Bitchalobe Ultra.
Yeah.
How was your drink?
Drink.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait, you didn't have a Bitchalobe Ultra this week. My
That's
bad.
right.
No,
you
I
did.
had a Reinhard Brewing From Beyond IPA. Look how spooky the can is. There's just shapes and shit.
Crazy stuff, man. It's like
Crazy,
an alien and
crazy.
stuff.
It was good. It's a strong beer, 6%. The bitch beer today, but by fucking 0.1. So I'll take it.
You were smashed.
Just crushed.
Just destroyed.
Crushed my hopes and my soul with your 0.1. But it was good. It was a nice smooth beer, and I would have it again. And I'll probably forget that I got it once, so I might actually have it again.
Stay tuned, episode 32. Pete, same
you
beer.
never know. You never know. Kev, how was your beer that someone else may have also had?
Wait a second here. This is not right.
Yeah.
Am I
Come
out of
on,
order?
Pete.
Is there an
Yeah.
order we're supposed to follow?
Come
Sure.
on, Pete.
Jesse, how's your
We
beer?
say this every week. Is there an order? Kev made this rule, unofficial but official rule, like 10 weeks ago.
I mean,
See,
typically
I get all fucked up because Kevin's supposed to start, and then I start, and then Kev didn't go, and I'm like, why didn't Kev go? I gotta ask Kev.
Because I didn't have the bitch beer.
Hey,
They
man.
might as well go together since they have the same thing. But I'll go next.
Do we go in alcohol content order?
Yeah. On the way out, we do.
Yeah.
On the way in, we don't know.
No.
Peter,
know.
I'm in the same boat. It's
no
supposed to have been
idea.
decided, and we
You
completely
guys
forgot
are
over
fucking-
4 weeks.
Are you new? Like, is this your first time on the show?
Oh.
I think
I
old
had
age
no
is getting to
idea.
you two. Is that what it is?
We're senile motherfuckers now.
We talked about that, I swear. I didn't just dream it. Wait, did I just dream it?
It was like today they were conspiring. They had the same beer they knew about.
Not at all. Not at all. Actually.
Not at all.
While they were at the shop getting those same beers, they were probably like, we should do it in order of alcohol and not tell anyone. It's brilliant.
We've been doing it for the last few weeks, man. If you actually listen to the recording after, if you guys were real fans of our own show, you'd listen and you'd know that that's what we do at the end of the show as of late.
Huh.
We haven't been around as of late.
Huh.
Yeah, this is true. I only
All right.
Jesse and I have been around as of late, like 100%.
100%.
Huh.
Well, we're true PMP fans
There you go.
and hosts.
All right. So while you're still chirping there, Jesse, tell us how your beer was.
So Jesse, how was your beer?
Flying Monkey, always a decent choice.
Yep.
Is the Quantum Hugs, cold IPA. I would not have a warm IPA, but
Brilliant advertising. Brilliant.
it just says cold on it. I'm like, good instructions, I guess.
I wonder if it's filtered cold as opposed to.
You know how Coors Light does the mountains that get cold?
Oh, cool. Yeah. They go
Nah,
blue.
Flying Monkey's just like, no, it's just cold. Just serve it cold.
Cold.
Says it on the can.
Ding ding.
That was good. Definitely have it again. But Kev, Josh, are you guys gonna do this unison?
We had. Go ahead, Kev.
We had a Royale Roots 00 Belgian triple strong beer. It is an 8.3% alcohol. 8.3, boys.
Kev, I mean, I love you, man, but it's not Royal Roots. It's Rural
Royal.
Roots.
That's what, Royal. Yeah.
But he didn't have the same beer.
No. Yeah, we did so.
It's pretty good, eh, Kev?
Yeah, man.
My first sip, I was like, oh shit, I remember this one now, because of course we had it when we were there.
Yep.
And it's nice.
It is good.
It's nice. Little place just in Elmira. And Jess, you were with us when we went to this brewery. We also stopped in. We did a little tour at the Murphy's Law Moonshine Distillery, which was an awesome experience. And then we went over to Rural Roots and had a bunch of beers and some grub. And that was also an awesome experience. And we came out with some 8.3 brews. And we took the co-championship this week.
Thanks, bro.
Yep, we did it.
Yep.
Still -1 for having the same beer.
No, it should be a +1 for having the same beer.
What?
Because you have the same alcohol content. I mean, we should try to change that. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're having a 6% beer, yeah, Yeah,
Pretty sure it was
because-
also the first time in PNP history that we had the same beer on the same episode.
It is, yeah.
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 For sure. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Should be a plus.
Episode.
should
be a
pretty
plus.
much just put us in the PNP Hall of Fame. I mean, really.
Yep.
The fucking Hall of Shame, maybe.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Season 3 added
Of
thing.
all
Hall
the
of Fame
beer.
and
Of
shame.
all the beers out there in the world, you two couldn't find different beers for a single episode.
Hey man, it's been a while since we've done a show, and we both wanted to come out hitting
On
heavy.
top. Yeah,
And-
because I was on top in golf. I wanted to come on top in content. Like I'll come on all content.
Funny,
so-
I finished third in golf this week, and I was like, "Fuck, I better win at least the booze." Oh shit! Well, did you guys have a good episode after about 3 weeks off?
Yeah.
Feel it was good. Did we give
Yeah.
our listeners enough information?
Probably not.
More shit talking than anything.
That is not our strong suit.
But
But I hope you had fun.
Oh, we always do.
I mean, I had a pretty good time.
Yeah, man.
I think Pete was talking about the listener though.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was breaking the fourth wall,
All right.
How-
Way to go,
how
Clint.
dare you.
Way to go, bud.
Oh fuck yeah, that was great. For all of us here at Points and Penalties, we'd like to thank Clint for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube wherever you get your podcast. Please give us a like and follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Points Penalties. Until next week, stay
out
out
of
of
the
the penalty
penalty
box.